CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is with us. Rikki, you've prosecuted sex crime cases with adults and children. Headlines out of the Acosta press conference seem to be no apology, and also he says he proceeded appropriately, given the context back then. Do you agree?
Not a bit, and nothing he said changed my mind. When he talks about the fact that the environment for women was different in 2007 than it is in 2019, these are children, for heaven's sake. There is no way that we treated, as prosecutors, children differently in 2007 than in 2019. Our job was to protect them. Our job was to get them ready for trial. I not only prosecuted these cases, in 2007, I'm serving on the board of the Rape Treatment Center in California, in Los Angeles. We made sure that child victims felt supported. We didn't just send an FBI agent or a cop out to see them and they said, I don't want to go through with this, and then just say, okay. And that's what happened here.
Rikki, I want to look at some reporting that the Miami Herald did about this secret plea deal that Acosta negotiated with Jay Lefkowitz, Epstein's lawyer, who is a former colleague of Acosta's. And they reported that Acosta allowed Epstein's lawyers unusual freedom in dictating the terms of the non-prosecution agreement. How unusual do you think it is?
I think it's unusual because he was intimidated by the strength of these lawyers. You have to remember there was Ken Starr there was Alan Dershowitz there. You know, these are hard cases. I agree. That's maybe the one thing I agree with Acosta about, that they're hard cases. Well, when I was a young prosecutor, and I mean young, we relished the idea that the best and the toughest and the ones with the great reputation defense lawyers were coming in because we wanted to try cases against them. We were not intimidated.
Acosta called it a roll of the dice, but there was a 53-page indictment prepared.
Well, by the way, all trials are a roll of the dice. You can never guarantee a juror's verdict. But the time is that that's your job. What he did, you know, there was no statute of limitations here at sex trafficking at that time. So what he did is he takes a non-prosecution agreement and shuts it down. For heaven's sake, Jeffrey Berman, now in the Southern District of New York, talk about the opposite. He's calling for victims to come forward. There was no urgency. They didn't have to do a non-prosecution agreement.
You had dozens of victims here. You have Acosta delaying telling them about this plea deal and them seeking restitution. What do you make of that?
Well, the judge in Florida, Judge Murrow, has declared that that was illegal. The judge in Florida is trying to find a sanction against the government. So I don't think that we can take Mr. Acosta's word for this. And I'm very glad that the Palm Beach State's attorney came out and said, look, he wasn't Superman. This is my words, not his. He didn't get on his cape and fly over and save the day to be a hero. He tried to portray himself as a hero.
On the contrary, it sounds like you're saying he wasn't up to the job.
I think he was not up to the job.
Rikki Klieman, thank you so much for being with us, Rikki.